Welcome to Writing Superstars, the quest for excellence. I'm Melissa Forney, and I write children's books. I've been a reader and a writer all of my life. When I was your age, I used to check out stacks of books from the library every week, and I even read under the covers in bed at night with a flashlight. I love to write, too. I've written 14 books for kids and teachers, a music CD for kids, and I'm just getting started. I was also a classroom teacher. I love teaching kids, so this is my opportunity to teach you how to become an excellent writer. And why would you want to become an excellent writer? Because writing is one key to success. We use writing in just about any career you can think of. Writing well will open 1,000,000 doors for you. If you know how to express yourself and tap into your own creativity, there will be no stopping you. What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Today, we're going to look at a lesson called Fluff versus Diamonds. It's kind of like going to a football game where the Chicago Bears play the Pittsburgh Steelers, or a wrestling match where Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Who doesn't love a good competition? We always want to see who's going to come out on top. Imagine a competition between Fluff and Diamonds. Can you picture that scene in your mind? In this corner, weighing a mere 18 ounces, Fluff, and in this corner, weighing in at 250 pounds, Diamond. It sounds like a no-brainer, doesn't it? Fluff versus Diamonds. Let's see what we're talking about here. Fluff. What is it anyway? Remember the dandelions you picked when you were little? The fluff blew away into the air, never to be seen again. Fluff is fine for a little while, but it doesn't hold up. Some of our writing is like that. It doesn't have enough creative details for the reader to remember or care about. Most of that kind of writing eventually gets thrown out. Now, when it comes to diamonds, we're in a whole new ballpark. A diamond is a lump of carbon found as deep as 200 miles below the surface of the earth. There, it is bombarded by extreme heat and pressure, and the carbon is squeezed into a brilliant, light-refracting crystal. Another interesting thing about diamonds is that they're the hardest naturally occurring substance found on Earth. A diamond doesn't look like this when it's first found. It has to be cut and polished so that beams of light make it sparkle and shine. The best diamonds, which are rare and incredibly expensive, are used in jewelry. They're so hard that it takes a diamond knife or saw to cut through another diamond. Now that's pretty cool. Just as diamonds are used to dazzle us in jewelry, they make our writing sparkle with brilliance. In writing, a diamond is a detail you can picture. That's the whole point of writing, isn't it? To create experiences for our readers. Writing that contains descriptive details stands the test of time. We're still reading writing written by William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, Mark Twain, Frederick Douglass, Langston Hughes, and other great authors, even though they were written long, long ago, because their writing is filled with diamonds. It's been said that a diamond lasts forever. So does good writing. Let's compare two sentences, one written with fluff and one written with diamonds. I bet you'll be able to spot the differences right away. Here's the first sentence. Yesterday, we did a lot of things, and it was okay, I guess. This sentence is definitely fluff. It's incredibly ordinary. There are no picturesque details for us to enjoy. Now let's compare this sentence to one written with diamonds. Yesterday, Ellie and I cleaned up all the junk in my room, threw out the really gross stuff, and put things in boxes that we want to sell at a garage sale. Wow, what a difference! The Fluff sentence was boring, but this sentence creates a mind movie in our brains. The descriptive diamonds this writer uses give us 3 things to focus on: cleaning up the junk, throwing out the gross stuff, and packing the rest for a garage sale. If there's such a difference between fluff and diamonds, then why would anyone ever want to write with fluff? That's a good question, and I've asked a lot of kids to tell me their answer. It seems that when we're tired or feeling defeated or lazy or uninterested, we tend to write with fluff. Oh yeah, we do the same thing when we get in too much of a hurry. Writing descriptively is an amazing skill. It's one of the most important things you'll ever learn. Now that we've seen fluff versus diamonds in single sentences, let's see how this plays out in paragraphs. When it comes to paragraphs, there can be multiple sentences on a topic. This is where an author who uses diamonds can really shine. You'll notice right away that the first paragraph is filled with fluff. See if you can spot the parts that don't encourage us to picture the details. We went to the beach. We saw many things. We saw birds, water, waves, shells, and sandcastles. We played and had fun. It was a long day, but it was really cool. We were tired on the way home, but we were glad we went. I don't know about you, but I spotted fluff all over the place. I have here a balance scale. Every time I read something that's fluff, I'm going to put some of this cotton candy on this side of the scale. Let's read that paragraph again. We went to the beach. Uh-oh. I don't know who we is, so that's fluff. We saw many things. This sentence doesn't add any vivid information. That's more fluff. We saw birds, water, waves, shells, and sandcastles. Sometimes a list can be boring. Fluff. We played and had fun. The author gave us no details, so I couldn't join in the fun. Could you? It was a long day, but it was cool. Now, does the author mean the weather was cool, or does he mean the day was cool? We were tired on the way home, but we were glad we went. That's okay, but I think the author could have done better. Well, as you can see, the fluff side did go down. The writing does have a little weight to it, but we'll see what happens when we compare it to the diamonds. Here's the second paragraph. As you follow along, pay attention to the diamonds, descriptive passages that help you picture exactly what the author is writing about. Yesterday, my 4 cousins and I had a knock-your-socks-off day at the beach. The sun was shining, and seagulls flew overhead in a sky full of white, fluffy clouds. We swam in the clear, salty water and body surfed when the waves were big. Wow! Was that ever fun? My cousin, Cesar, and I had a contest to see who could find the best shell. Cesar won with a shell as big as your fist. Afterwards, all of us built one huge sandcastle that had towers, flags, and a moat filled with water. Just before the waves knocked it down, my Uncle Edgar took a picture of it. That was one magnificent sandcastle. On the way home, we were exhausted, but we all agreed that it was the best day ever. Whoa, that was some outstanding writing. Did you spot the diamonds so we can add them to the balance scale? Here they are. Yesterday, my 4 cousins and I had a knock-your-socks-off day at the beach. 4 cousins is a terrific detail, and instead of just saying it was a great day, the author used the idiom, it was a knock-your-socks-off day. Wow! The sun was shining and the seagulls flew overhead in a sky full of white, fluffy clouds. Can't you just picture that? That's a diamond because I could picture it in my mind. We swam in the clear, salty water and body surfed when the waves were big. Nice description. There it goes. Wow, was that ever fun? My cousin Cesar and I had a contest to see who could find the best shell. Cesar won with a shell as big as your fist. Woohoo! I could picture as big as your fist. Afterwards, all of us built one huge sandcastle that had towers, flags, and a moat filled with water. Just before the waves knocked it down, my Uncle Edgar took a picture of it. That was one magnificent sandcastle. Now those are diamonds if I've ever seen them. I'm going to add not one, but two. On the way home, we were exhausted, but we all agreed that it was the best day ever. The slam dunk for diamonds. By comparison, the first paragraph sounded weak and boring. Diamonds triumph over Fluff. Diamonds are the clear winner. Let's compare Fluff to diamonds in a different way. Here's an ordinary plastic water jar. I filled it halfway with water. We said that diamonds are forever. What will happen if I put this really big diamond down in a container of water? Will it hold up? What do you think? The diamond's in the water, but nothing happened. It's still there. If you put a diamond out in the elements and were able to zoom to the future 1,000 years from now, the diamond would still be there. A diamond is made to last. Now, what happens if we put the Fluff through the same test? Will it hold up? Will it last? What do you think? Whoa! You see what happened? The Fluff just melts away. It doesn't have the staying power of a diamond. Sparkling diamonds here to stay. Too bad Fluff just melts away. Let's have a quick review. When you write, be sure to include vivid, picturesque descriptions. This allows your reader to picture exactly what you're writing about and to imagine he's there, experiencing it with you. Including details is like writing with diamonds that make your writing sparkle with brilliance. We can probably sum things up with a rhyme you can remember, and it goes like this. If you're writing with Fluff, it's never enough, 'cause diamonds are the real good stuff. That's all for today. See you next time on Writing Superstars, The Quest for Excellence.